Congratulations, seniors. You set out to make this the year of doing what Alyssa did not. You have most certainly done that, and you've made cookies too. God, Caroline.
Caroline!
Well, the first time I experienced Caroline was in the context of my debate class.
My first impressions of her were, wow, she's really empowering.
My first impressions from her were about how smart she was and how she wasn't afraid to let you know it.
I thought she was a feminist at first.
When I think of Caroline, I think intensity.
She came in and promptly took over, basically. She became the Prime Minister of India and was very, very good at it.
The thing I like the most about Caroline is how strong she is and how she's not willing to compromise her opinions to others, and I find that really admirable.
She was the first Prime Minister to actually lead India to a solution to the Kashmir problem, which is pretty freaking impressive when you think about it.
I already said I like her intensity.
Her graceful republicanism.
Once she has an opinion on something, she's not going to back down from it, and
she doesn't take stupidity.
And in the end, her opinions are always good ones.
And her speaking style, I've actually kind of tried to imitate it a bit because I thought it was really awesome, and I liked how she spoke to other people.
BJ, oh man, BJ.
Oh, yeah, that tall. Hair is 30% of his height.
In all honesty, the first impression I had of him was they were like, "This is BJ," and I went, "Heh, BJ."
He was awesome. Ben was really, really hardworking freshman.
I always knew he was an all-around nice person, very friendly with everyone.
My favorite thing about Ben is probably because he's really, really kind to people. He's very modest about things. He's not, overly seeking attention.
You don't need to just look at me. You can look at anyone in this room.
His level of intelligence is just so above anybody else that I've ever met in my entire life, especially when it comes to economics.
His peacefully democratic approach to captaincy.
He always felt like he knew you as a friend and wanted to be your friend.
So he was sort of the Frost Wunderkind, as I remembered him. People told me about Cormac before I actually met him.
I'm actually afraid of Cormac well into my senior year.
They're like, oh, there's this kid who knows everything, who presents it, is very funny and all.
I really like the way he presents his ideas.
Chuck Norris is not the Lone Ranger. I was thinking that the show where he's the sheriff, I forget what it's called. Walker, Texas Ranger.
Somehow, maybe he showed up in my room or whatever, and he started doing an imitation of a mine prospector.
You know, of all those speeches I've heard, there are a couple lines that really resonate, and perhaps the foremost among them is Cormac's line, "That is insanity, and you cannot vote for insanity."
Immediately morphed into this wonderful eulogistic oration on the greatness of Vladimir Putin, to which I'm grateful for him because I've actually sort of borrowed that character and used it in a variety of contexts at different classes.
I wanted to tell him that I think he is Leonardo DiCaprio's performance of Gatsby in The Great Gatsby, simply because of the mannerisms and the amount of formality and his mannerisms. It's really awesome to see how someone is able to, construct language in that kind of a way. So that's cool. Apparently he taught the group how to rob a bank. How cool is that?
Thank you kindly.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Cooper, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Well, okay.
So energetic and earnest and knows everything.
One of my earliest memories of Cooper, I know he'd been on the team for a while.
He was my partner for debate my freshman year.
We do a unit on the Romans, and somebody would make a comment about some Roman emperor, and then he'd start listing 30 of them all at once, and I just be like, okay.
We were debating anchor babies.
Is when we were debating repealing the Posse Comitatus Act, and
Goes up there and gives a speech that if we do this, we're like Sparta, and we might as well just kill all the babies.
I got into a side debate with Cooper about it. And at the end of it, what I thought is, I don't think I can win an argument with this kid.
He's good at music, and he's good at debate. It's pretty cool.
So immensely gifted at music.
He does things to his full potential.
I think I like that. slightly irritating.
Third place speaker award from Joel Barlow High School, Cooper D'Agostino.
That's cool.
You may be right, I may be crazy.
What I like most about Steven is that he actually has an interest in computer science.
His thorough knowledge of nuclear reactors, and also his as of yet undisclosed contributions to the team.
Steven is the funniest kid in the world.
So if I make a programming joke, such as like some sort of semantic or something, I know that Steven Chudy would actually be there.
I come in the morning, I'm like, oh God, how am I going to get through this day? And then Stephen walks in and tells me that I'm doing things wrong, and there's a much more horrible way I should be doing it.
And every time I talk to him, I can't help but laugh.
What isn't there to like about Steven in the end?
He's a great kid.
His vast knowledge on how to rig an election, and I think that will come in handy.
Honestly, from the debate team at least, Ben, the person who's been my best friend so far.
What other debater could you say that about? Brandon Coppinger.
Oh wow, Brendan.
What I like the most about Brendan,
His humility, and it's so easy to get along with him.
aside from his uncanny resemblance to Anakin Skywalker,
He's always to the point, and he never beats around the bush.
My first tournament, not knowing where all the boxes were and stuff, and I had no idea what I was doing.
He was one of the people in the first rounds I ever had.
Him and Nico came up to me, and I thought, this kid is really helpful, and he's willing to help others.
And I had known him for, oh man, since we were both young.
the thing that I like most about Brendan is his mixture of seriousness and levity.
The way he has morphed from this incredibly argumentative person as a freshman.
It was weird seeing him, because I never thought of him as somebody who would be at a debate team.
Just somebody who seems to be growing into somebody who's very open and reasonable.
My favorite thing about Brendan is how blunt he is. He's not afraid to, share his opinion.
It's amazing having been here since my freshman year, seeing these people grow and seeing just how amazing they've become after all of this.
I mean, many of the other seniors are more or less the same people that they were, but their willingness to let education and his experiences transform him and make him stronger, I think that's impressive.
What were your first impressions on Nicolo?
This kid is never going to take debate seriously.
Nicolo, oh my god.
The most remarkable is being in the back of a safari cart, sitting next to Nicolo Marzaro, sitting behind various members of Team India, and turning to Nicolo, repeating something that annoyed Stephen and saying, "I don't care, Kanish. Marzaro is a good cop, and I'll stand by him."
The first time I met Nicolo was actually on my bus.
When I first walked in, he was immediately my mentor.
He was one of the people in the first rounds that I ever had in practice.
And Nicolo was like, "Hey, you know stuff. People on debate know stuff. You should join debate."
Mr. Smith paired me with him, knowing that he would be a great teacher to me, and he truly was the one who taught me how to debate.
His flow was consistent of a picture of a gorilla, a picture of a man with a turtle on his head as a hat, and that his entire speech was based around just nothing.
And that's what I did. So if it weren't for Nicolo, I wouldn't actually be here in the first place.
And he's the reason that Max Sanderson and I went 3-0 in one of our recent tournaments.
There was nothing there, and I was sitting there and I was like, why are you even here?
I mean, on one level, he's one of the most hilarious people I've ever met in my life. But at the same time, I think part of the reason that he's so funny is that there's this layer of caring, I think, and morality.
I love that he's proven that he's here for a reason.
You can make people laugh.
You lose arguments with yourself.
To be able to go to some random school that he won't tell us and make bombs or nuclear things.
When anytime that anything good or anything bad happens, your first thought is, how can I mine this for case ideas?
You're very observant in class with people who are smart, and you try to get them to join the debate team.
Honestly, people have to tell you to stop talking.
When you flow arguments that you have with your friends.
Any person with a gun can rob a bank, but if you own a bank, then you can rob the world. And debaters can do both.
rather be in Tokyo.